Hello. I am back once again, and it is Wednesday. We're back to our regular schedule again. Hopefully. You know, let's hope I can keep the schedule up and not be late for stuff again. It is just a matter of, actually being at home. Like, that's the main issue. Like, when I'm at home, I can generally be on time. Like, that's not difficult. Just move to my PC. However, it's a bit difficult when I'm not home. So yeah, let's just jump into Derail Valley then, now that I'm here on time. And hopefully, it works. Hello. Now it's just a matter of, is the game capture gonna work? Yes, it is. It's working at least. Yeah. And if you're wondering about the title, which is People Can't Drive, it is a legit concern that I have for some people, and their ability to operate a motor vehicle. Like, hold on. If I'm gonna explain this, I'm gonna use paint for that. Because that is the easiest way to describe what I want. Let me see. Let me do that one. That one. Here we go. So, I was driving. I came from this side, driving that way. There was a tunnel going like down and then back up. And there's traffic light here. So you know you arrive, and if you're here, you're a bit fucked. Like if you're at the front, you are sitting right here, which means you are in trouble. If you don't know how to drive a manual, or if you have a manual, you don't know how to use it properly. Personally, my car can deal with it perfectly fine. So I was arriving, and there were two cars in front of me. The front car stops at a green light. This light was green. This one was, can I get, how do you scale this? I'm not used to paint. Why is there a bloody co-pilot? Just want to change my brush thickness, fine. It had like green lights. So what happened is, the first car, which they were all, I think we're gonna do it with red. This one stood completely still. Awesome. At a green light. Then there was a car behind that. And then you had me. I was honking because, obviously, I'm honking because, the light's green. Why the fuck aren't you moving? You have to move, right? It's dangerous to stand still at a green light because some people just look at the light and then don't realize you're standing still. So, this was kind of like I honked, and this, like the red car, then went. Like the red car moved. But the yellow car the car in front of me, stalled on the hill. And didn't move for at least 30 seconds. Or possible less, I didn't really keep track. But it stood there for an abnormally long time. So yeah. I was at that point really annoyed when this car finally moved out of the, it started moving forward. And the most ironic thing is, if we just do this and just, I later on went to an intersection which followed afterwards, which had, if we just do this real quick, And this one kind of went this way. Same with this one, actually. Well, this one is here because you had this 2 lanes here, and then you have this one. This one connects to that. This one goes here. This one has 2 lanes. One which has an arrow for forward and off on it, and one that's just for left. You know, this. So the car in front of me, which stalled and stood still for way too long, decided to go left. So it went left. So I decided I'm just gonna go straight on. I'm not gonna be stuck behind you, because later on here there's a little bit of a hill, which you sometimes have to stop on. But there was some major irony, because the light in front of me went green. I let go of the clutch. I started letting go of the clutch. I went too quickly. I stalled. Yeah. Because just as I feel like everybody does, if somebody drives weird, what you do is you look at, if you have a chance to pull an overtake, you don't always have that option, but if you do, you look into their car to judge them. Like, you're just looking like, who is driving this bad? Like, almost out of curiosity. Like, who can't drive? Yeah, I felt kind of dumb. Like, I judge somebody for stalling and then I do it myself. As a just useless. Right, what are the fees? There is a 4,000 fee. Where are we even? Did I just... Yeah, I think I just packed up, went over here and stopped because I was tired. I mean, I still am because, yeah, sleep. But yeah, work isn't bad. Just driving to and from can be annoying. Because I faced multiple, wait a second, I did that so I could repay shunting stuff. Like, there's always some traffic jam. And it's really, really annoying. If you are stuck in one of those traffic jams. Wait, are we still connected? I should probably grab a glass for this. I have a bottle of a drink, but it's 1.5 liters, and I'm not wanting to take a sip out of that, also because of advertising. So, even though I've only been streaming for 10 minutes, 8 of them are actually live, and 2 minutes are starting soon, I'm gonna go grab a glass to pour liquids into. So I guess we put it to be right back, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. There we go. This time I have a glass, and I'm gonna pour the liquid into the glass and then, you know, drink. It's a drink with quite a lot of sugar, so that should get me through this stream. Hopefully. If I can keep, like, the sugar rush going for long enough, then I can stop the stream, brush my teeth, and just fall asleep. You know? Just like that. Right, engine on. What kind of locomotives do we have? 2 and 6. Both diesel electric. I did recently surface it, so all I have to do is go look for a job. I don't have the license yet. Once I do, I'll definitely use the D6. Like, yes, it's a little bit inefficient. However, it can pull so much that it basically makes it a lot more profitable. And this engine is just for shunting. Like, even though if you look at the vehicle catalog, it calls it a heavy shunt. Yeah, it's heavy shunting. It's not even light hauling like the DM3 and the DH4. That it doesn't have the fuel capacity. It doesn't have the water. Like, if you're going downhill, it doesn't matter. You're not using anything. But if you're uphill and you run out of water, you're going to be rolling down that hill, or you're going to be exploding. Right? That's a big downhill, right? Like, yeah, you fight uphill a little bit here, but then this is all downhill pretty much, especially this part. So, in theory, yes. Like, this is my theory. 550 plus 33 is under 600. I should be able to get away with pipes, and empty cars. So we'll first grab pipes, then we'll grab empty cars, and then we'll grab more pipes. And then we'll have 3 jobs at the same time. Efficiency, a lot of money, and yeah. And then we're back in the harbor, which has a lot of locomotives. And it has a lot of stuff. Alright, let's see. Wait a minute. We have 88, 02, and 84. This is 02. I just uncoupled from this, and let me guess. This 88, yes, that is that one. So those are the pipes. Now all that matters is, are these the 3 cars that I need to grab as well? 84, yeah. Right, I know where I have to be. Now I just have to go there. Sadly, oh wait, I already have an idea on how I'm gonna do that. Sadly, those cars are in front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, hook it up to the back of that one, of the empty cars. Then I'm gonna go run around, connect to that load, the pipes, and then connect all of that up to there, and then I can go. It's perfect. All I have to do is get off the brakes. Start the engine. Shift it into neutral because I'm doing low speeds. Oh well. But if I slow down a little bit, there we go. Then I simply walk out, bonk, reconnect. Wait, the handbrake. It is very dangerous to do it this way. Because if you have enough throttle applied and you release the handbrake, it will start going and you won't have any way to stop it. At least I won't, because I don't have my dash turned on. Alright. Yeah, I get to deal with the wipers again. Because here in the Netherlands, the weather has just been absolute shit. Like, it has not been good. Just a constant bad rain, where you're continuously changing your wiper settings, because at some point you do need the faster continuous speed, but then you don't. Then the interval is just perfectly fine, but then the interval is too fast. Oh, now you need the continuous again. It's just one big, can you be more consistent, please? Why does it feel like the music is quite the music is just quite loud. I don't want to get copyright claim to hell on YouTube. Because even though I haven't been uploading in like 2 weeks on my YouTube channel, which is just the VODs. Nothing like, if you're watching these full streams, then you don't miss anything. But if you wait, no, I need to go the other way. Send to reverse. This is some heavy rain. If that will go the right direction. We just keep on pushing it, then I'll brake shortly before. Like right now. I've come to a complete stop. The cars are still rolling forward. As long as they clear the main switch, I can just hook back up and then just back up a little bit more. That doesn't really matter. What matters is that it doesn't damage the cars in the pushing. Right, please be past the thing. Like, as long as it's over the switch. It's easily over. Means I can start accelerating to potentially push it some more. Seem to have slowed down significantly. These are clearing the gauge. No, we ain't. We are still gonna collide. This time at very low speeds. Tell me, did it do any damage? No. And no. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Slow down. I did not realize I was still set to the D7 outbound. If I hadn't realized that in time, could have been a major catastrophe. Instead, the solution is simply going around. Yeah, there's still some space in between. Whoops. So pick up those, back up all the way to there. So everything's backed up into each other. Hook everything up. Turn the jobs into start them. Leave. That's the plan. That's what I'm gonna stick with. And there we go. And also I did try and put a bush person sticker on my rear window. But because it's a non-laminated sticker that isn't even intended basically for outdoor use, it is pretty much gonna fall off during the night, and when I wake up tomorrow it's already crooked. Like, I put it on pretty straight, but now it's not anymore. So it's just a matter of time before it's gonna fall. So I think what I'll have to do is get a big piece of clear tape of some sort and use that. Alright, there we go. And is that set up? Do have to slow down. Just a tad bit. Like, I know what I'm doing here. I'm being efficient with my time. Perfect. It's slow, but it's definitely not gonna damage the cars. Come on. Please have enough momentum. Please, come on. It's so close. Seriously. This is how it's gonna be. All it was that little bit of throttle. Of course, it's the other side of the train. I do have to say, it's definitely more annoying without a dash if your train gets longer. Because I know I've turned that last one as well. It's gonna be annoying, isn't it? But hey, at least the air's recharged now. And I'm already gonna give a heads up for in a couple of weeks. Let me actually see. In how many weeks I mean? Yeah, 2 weeks. Like, from the 30th of September to, like, the 7th of October, I will not be home. So, the streams that should happen on week 40 won't happen. Sadly. And now there's an ad. Yay. I'm gonna wait a little bit so everybody can hear it, not just people that pay, which is like one person. If that subscription is even refreshed. Because, you know, I still use 3 minutes of ads, which probably isn't even 3 minutes. But it disables pre-rolls, and that's just the best feature you can have. Because otherwise you'd want to join my stream, but then you get ads before you join in. And that's really annoying. Also, I wonder how it's gonna do with this incline here. I'm gonna turn this off. Gonna climb the engine. Then I'm gonna set the switch now. And hopefully I can just let it idle. Yeah, see it? It starts rolling back because I'm on an incline. Alright, I'm accelerating. Alright. In half a minute, I'm gonna start talking about what streams are gonna be cancelled in a couple of weeks and which ones aren't, because, yeah. There we go. Jump, jump. And we just keep on rolling. Yeah, now that everybody's back, the streams that would usually happen on the 1st, the 3rd of October, like those two. Yeah, I'm not home at that point, so those streams will probably be cancelled. Can't really move them around all that much. If I'm gone from the Tuesday till basically the next Tuesday. So that's gonna be a little bit problematic. But I feel like not thinking about streams for a week can be a welcome thing. You know, taking a bit of a break is also important. Let's see. I see the car, I just have to approach it carefully. You should approach a car how you should approach an animal. A wild animal, just at a careful, steady pace. We're still quite far away, aren't we? Yet we're getting closer. Haha. Yeah, I need more speed. Like, the locomotive isn't even on the track yet. It's still on the switches. Wait. That doesn't really work now, does it? Right now I should have enough speed. Hopefully. Probably not. We're starting to get there. No, being a lot closer. I know this is a lot of work, but it's almost done, and once it is done, my train has pretty much come to a standstill yet again. Come on. Like, why doesn't the DH4 hold its speed and momentum? Like, what is that torque what's a torque converter doing? Oh, the lights have turned on. Alright. I think I've hit the cars and I'm pushing them back now. So we can definitely connect and... hopefully they aren't rolling away from them. That's what I hope. In the meantime, they be going. Right, everything is now punched together. So connect that one. Those should now have no air in between them, or depending on what's in the reservoir, of course. And now we're gonna undo this handbrake. There was only one that was still attached. Then I know the train is still running. I guess I'm gonna be doing that to get the air going, as I'm gonna use that excuse. Connected barely is this. So while my entire train is now slowly regaining air, of course lost a bunch, it means a reservoir has to be filled, otherwise the brakes are going to be on. Then we're going to punch it out of the goods factory, going down here, going down here, going down here, and be fine. I have to go this way first. Now that I know that now that I'm starting to get familiar with the no dashing. Yes, it wastes a lot of time and is inefficient, but it does teach you the map. No little nooks and crannies. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong one. Alright, this one needs to go to D1. This one needs to go to C2. And this one needs to go to D4. So I have D, 2 Ds, 1 C. I think the front one is C. Or the most at the... Yeah, the two rear ones are D. So if we grab the harbor book again. I think the rear ones are D, the other one is C. So that means I can just disconnect the bit. Like disconnect these two, which are those, until this connection. This is all the one needs to go to C2 inbound. So I can just disconnect it right here, like right before the switch. Then drive past switch, park it in, grab the rest, drive it in. Alright. Let's go. Speed is steadily climbing. Why do I have this many notifications? Why? Most of them are just useless as well. Right, 30 up an incline. In theory, I should be able to make that incline. I'm running 500 something, 550 plus 23, or 33, 583. Which means that according to the laws of physics, or to the calculations that the Derail Valley developers threw on us, this should be a possible solution. But because we're on the road, we're gonna shut the doors that I've used for open doors right now. If you're shunting, you want to keep your doors open. Like, just look at that. Because you can focus a lot more with this instead of this. Hey, the more train is that's on the straight, the better it gets, because straight line means more speed as opposed to a curve. Because then you also have to deal with the curve instead of just go forward. And also, I may or may not have to replace my rear windshield wiper. Luckily, I know where to get them, and yeah. But I first have to actually probably clean it. And after I've cleaned it and it's still weird, then I'm gonna get a new one. But if it does work, then it won't yet. But yeah, if I need to, it's just a matter of measure the wiper blade, like how long is it, check if they have that size and buy that size, and then install it and be done. If that's an actual thing that I would see Renault doing it a bit weird. So let me just look up wiper blade. A rear wiper, if I ordered actually, it would cost me either $432 or $690. However, if I look at the image, looks like a pretty standard one actually. I mean, technically I only need 2 blades to begin with. I have one in the back, one in the front. a pretty big one in the front, but it's a mono wiper. The Cybertruck tried to do that as well, but failed because it is way too much. Alright, we are running quite hot, and hello, ducky. Hello. We're running a bit slow at a whopping 15 or 16 kilometers per hour. I can bike faster than this. But I don't want to overheat. If I push it a little bit more. There we go. That's the speed I'm talking about. Yeah, you're slightly overheating. I do not care. And if I notch it down a bit. Just have to help it along a little bit, that's all. Because I'm trying to get onto this bit here. As soon as I'm down here, then it's pretty much all downhill from there. Literally all downhill. I have no idea. And Obsidian doesn't really want to be in a call and playing Silk Song, so yeah, I know. I saw the notification on my phone. And yeah, kind of understandable. If you're trying to enjoy a game to its fullest, then you probably don't want a friend talking through it. Especially if it's a game with a lot of dialogue you have to read. Why are we stalling up this hill? That was the wheel slip indicator that just turned on for a short moment there. Yeah, we are definitely around this bend now. We are starting to overheat rapidly. As long as it doesn't go into the red. Like, that is the actual danger zone, but if I go down a notch again, then speed still goes up, but my temperature just drops. Let me scratch my arm in the meantime. There we go. Yeah, my microphone arm is like right here. So it's pretty much in the way. Like, I actually have to thread my arm through the cable. I should at some point actually invest in a proper actual setup, but you know, I'm running pretty decent gear. Maybe apart from the camera, but eh. You know, I'm running a Canon 500D that I bought for like 50 or 60 bucks just to use a camera instead of my old phone. And it works. It's a pretty decent camera, actually. It's just, at some point I would like a solid setup. But that'll probably not happen in the next couple of years because, first of all, saving money. Second of all, there's no space to do this here. Because if the economy and everything stays as it is, like right now, and I save up 50,000 euros, which is a lot. It's a lot of money. But I feel like I could do it in 4 to 5 years. Then I could right now buy a bit of housing that's worth just over 200,000 and still have manageable payments on a loan. Of course, you'd be responsible for all the stuff in the house, you know, with the like if something breaks, you have to replace it and all that other stuff. Right, I think we'll turn the engine off now. 60 downhill. Nice. But yeah, that's pretty much for if I've saved up enough money and a proper place is up for sale. Is that a 50? There's a 50 and a switch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start applying brakes. I have to apply brakes properly to slow myself down. I have to go left here. Which it is set to. And I get to do 60. Because that will put us on this piece of track here. And if I grab this map here, that means this one has to be set to the right, which it is. That means all the switches are set correctly for the harbor. That's still 70, but it's flat, so speed is fine. Yeah, I also have, over the last few days, I've just had the thing where I'm the first to enter the office in the morning. Usually it's someone else, but if that person is out of the office, like when you have to actually be on location, then then I'm the first one to arrive. Then what I do is I just turn the lights on, open the blinds, and just turn on my PC and start working. Because the ones that enter the office early get to leave the office early. Or at least I'm contracted to work 40 hours a week. I do 8 hours a day. I'm gonna do my 8 hours and then leave. Like, this might change, but I feel in no way obligated to stay longer to like, if a project really needs to be finished. But if it isn't, then why would I stay longer than my 8 hours? And of course, you get paid overtime, but that's, eh. But I'd much rather have slightly less money, like maybe a couple hours a week less. That would then be overtime. Then either be home later or have less free time. Yeah. I am the one that always looks at the clock on my computer to basically say, alright, I have 2 more minutes of work. And then just, after those 2 minutes, I'm out of there. Like, if I arrive at 7:27, which I arrived today, I basically start really packing up at 15:57. So that's 8.5 hours of work. Or like 8.5 with which half an hour's break time, so yeah. You don't get paid to eat lunch, sadly. Not a food tester. If I was, I would be very happy. And not at the same time, because that means you're gonna get a lot of disgusting food. And where's the downhill again? Like, I want to go downhill. I don't want to... That's a 60. We're doing just under 30. 30 and 40 mixed together. Also, this stream probably won't be the longest ever, but because I'm pretty much tired. Like, over the last few days, I've been pretty much getting like 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night, which isn't enough. My body is tired. So I'm gonna sleep like a brick and then just wake up tomorrow and just eat my lunch, or no, not eat my lunch, because I would make that this evening. I make my lunch before and shove it in the fridge, and then the next morning take my lunch out of the fridge, put it in my bag, have some breakfast, and then leave. And then I just go towards my car, which I always put the seat forward because it is a 3-door vehicle, so in order to get to the back seat, you basically have to push the front seats forward. You have to pull a lever that you can fold it. I haven't actually sat in the back yet. I've only sat in the driver's... I haven't even sat in the passenger seat. Like, I've only sat in the driver's seat. Huh. Funny. It's a fun car to drive. Like, yes, it's slow. Yes, it's a bit shit. But it's a lot of fun. Like, try overtake a semi-truck in one of those. In a Renault Twingo. Like, it is already screaming down the highway. Like, it is not its natural habitat, so it's kind of just screaming because of the RPM. And they have to overtake, so you have to go from 100 to 110. And then 110 is just hilarious to do. Like, it's... I don't want to say bad per se, but it's just... Like, it could do so much better if it had a little bit more power. And possibly a 6th gear, because it doesn't have that. And I'm really missing it at highway speeds. And I also overheard a conversation today at work about someone that had a broken rear view camera on their car. Because I think new cars have to have a backup camera for if you're backing up or parking. But I don't even have parking sensors. My car doesn't even beep when I get close to any object. Like, every modern car, if you're remotely close to an object, it starts beeping already. And the closer you get, the quicker it beeps until you're like centimeters away, where it just screams like one continuous beep to try and get your attention, like, yo, stop, there's something there. In the meantime, I just have to look. And if I forget to look, I will probably hit something. It does teach you how to drive, actually. Which I feel like should be reinforced as a behavior. Just learn to drive properly. As in, like, no assists, really. Just look. 60 and we're doing 50. Like, this is the reason why I just want to keep it slow a little bit and then let it roll here. Wait, is there a possibility that my old cars are still there? Because if so, I'm gonna just smash into them. Probably apply a lot of brake. A lot of brake. Yeah, now it's not just a matter of speed, it's a matter of slowing down. I think I saw a 70 sign, but I'm not fully trusting it until I see another one. I'm still slightly skeptical that the cars from the previous job that I had to cancel. Because I was on this piece of track and it was going uphill and it started raining, which did me in. There's no sign there that says it's gonna go down by 20. That is a major safety hazard. Wait, another switch already? Is it this place already? Are we there? That was quick. Wait a minute, it's perfect actually. I get to... Hold on, where's my station map? I'm coming in from this side. Yeah, we're going straight into... If we go through the G yard, and then straight back up into the D, then I'm fine. Then I can pull out, go into C, fix this locomotive up again, and roll away. Or get some more money. Yeah, I'm already here. Set to 50. Because otherwise you're gonna go a very steep incline. Yeah, I don't need to go through there. I don't want to go through there. I want to continue on. While slowing down. There we go. Now we're gonna roll straight through here. Alright, now that we're here, I should be able to... That's a bus. Those are buses. They're probably going to either be a shunting job or they're going to go to the machine factory, but I have a feeling it's shunting. D4 inbound. Ah. Which is just basically saying just go straight on. Yeah, it is an inbound, so it is a shunting job. Yep, we want to go there. D1S, though, is also there. Well, my engine's off anyway, so... We're just going to be jumping out. Yep, I can still overtake the train. Through running forward. We jump. Yep. Almost there. Yes, the question is if Obsidian's going to be in this call, is probably going to have to be done streaming first. And also, the VODs on YouTube are coming. I have them fully uploaded. I just have to edit the titles and schedule them so one comes out each day. So you guys basically have a 5-day period where you get a video every day. After that, it returns to 2 a week. It is slow. Well, this is going to be really slow. And that gives me the option to set the switches correctly. Possibly disconnect it prematurely. So it can just roll through. You know what, I do have to say, speed is picking up a little bit. And I might have to use a handbrake to slow it down. Or I set switches correctly, dump it, run back, hope that it didn't crash and burn. Oh, that's a fence. Oh yeah, it has not insignificant speed. Right, I have an idea. Probably a waste of air, but if I just dump all of it out. Yeah, that's just some really annoying trouble that I have right now. I want to wait till that is in fully. It is going to make it, I'm sure of that. Wait, if I keep slowing it down enough, I'll eventually be able to kick it. The D4 inbound seems to be clear. This is eventually going to run faster, though. 1S is also clear. A lot of clear lines today. Nice. I enjoy that. I enjoy it when I don't have to put in extra effort to do what I need to do. So we're gonna wait till it's pretty much over to switch, then switch to switch. Then wait for it to roll over into it. And in the meantime, we are gonna dump the air out of it once again till it's completely stopped. Just so I can run up to this one. Say, apply brake. And handbrake. Alright, we're almost there. We're just gonna be pushing that in all the way and then leaving again. If I just do almost 10 kilometers per hour. Alright, that's to slow that down a little bit. That is 2 jobs already at their position. There we go. Both have an applied handbrake now. That is, this one is D1S, this one is D4 inbound. So now we gently roll forward, slowly towards, if I go grab the overall A overview, I want to go past, then back, then go, then back. We're going. We are moving. Also, with driving, I'm starting to learn what to use when your windows fog up. Because sometimes you have to use your heat, like in the morning when you just get into your car. But sometimes, like on the way back, I had my heater on a little bit. Not even the airco, just like, give me some hot air for my engine, please. Thank you. That mode. And apparently that was enough to fog my windows up already. Like eventually my rear window was just fogged up and I could barely see out of it. Then I decided, hold on, I'm just gonna turn the heater on because I have a rear window defroster and everything. Like my car is has weird luxuries. Usually it's something like you have electric everything. But I have air conditioning, rear and front window defrosters, yet I have no central locking at all. Nor do I have electric mirrors. So I have to do my mirrors and keys manual. Like those are manually operated. Which is weird because everybody is used to close the door, click the lock button on your key fob, and boom, you are now your car's now locked and the alarm is turned on. I don't even think I have an alarm. I have an immobilizer. That reminds me, I still need to get a kill switch for it. You know, just a quick switch that I can use, that I can just jam into the interior. So you have to actually, you know, flip a physical switch in order to get the car to start. They might even put two in there. So, you know, you have one for the fuel pump and one for the starter motor, because if you have the starter motor that doesn't run, but you have hot wired the car sort of to get the, you do manage to get the ignition on, you just can't start it. You can bump start. Just push it, second gear, let go the clutch, it jerks to life. Boom, you've stolen the car. But if the fuel pump is also turned off, then oh boy, are you in for some fun. It might run for a short while, but then it will cut off because it used all the fuel that was left in the lines, and now the car's just dead. Like there's no fuel getting to the thing anymore. Alright. But I have to find a place to install that stuff. And I have to actually get the switches. I could just get like very small switches. Wait, no. I have Arduino buttons. You know, those are very, very small. Actually, where's the box? Let me grab the actual box of stuffs. Because at some point I bought an Arduino because I fucked it with school, so. 9-volt. There's a little extra boards. It has resistors. It has an electric motor. It has servo motor, actually. It has a bunch of switches. It has prop. It has other randomly assorted parts that I don't know what they do. Oh wait, it says it on here. You have the, I have the prototype expansion, power supply module, Stepper motor, driver module, stepper motor, servo motor, 5-volt relay, IR receiver, joystick, potentiometers, tilt ball switch, remote control, breadboard, USB cable, resistors, wires, one digit, 4-digit, 7-segment displays, active buzzer, ultrasonic sensor, temperature and humidity module. There's just a bunch of stuff in this box. Oh, I paused the switch already. I was too busy looking in my box. Which for my Dutch viewers will be kind of funny. I'm not sure if it works as well, really well in English, but I know in Dutch, box can also be used as a substitute for female genitalia. Because, you know, you put stuff in the box. We here in the Netherlands are all very mature people. Totally. And we also have a very competent government. Like, that's also the neat part about this country. I can just criticize our government by saying that they're shit. And people would agree, and everybody would agree with me because somehow it has fallen twice. I still can't wrap my head around how you do that. Like, first, yeah, the government falls over just immigration because, of course, you had a very, very big right conservative party that was very against immigration and everything. But no. After that, it kind of said, like, if the Dutch government can't make a decision on something, like they can't agree, then it falls because they failed to do what they were there for, to make decisions. But now it's, after a while, it fell again because people left over Israel and everything. Which, for those who are going to watch the Eurovision Song, well, they say Song Contest, but yeah, Song Festival, both can be used. It was either Israel or 10 countries. And yeah, you're not gonna see 10 countries are not competing. At a minimum, could be more later on, but so far 10 countries have cancelled, which also includes the Netherlands. So yeah. Because after last year's, I want to say, fiasco with basically some guaranteed rigging of votes. Like, yeah. It wasn't really... I'm thinking of grabbing the DM3 and driving it a little bit. Instead of this gas guzzling piece of shit hydraulic. Let me quickly accelerate a little bit. I've used almost half a tank of fuel. And also, my idea for the drinking stream is gonna be interesting. Because what it's gonna be is a lot of water. Because I've decided if I'm gonna have to drink 15 liters of fluid, first of all, it's not gonna be in one stream. That would just be impossible. And potentially deadly. So it's probably gonna... But I realize if I'm gonna drink a lot, no matter what drink I get, there's gonna be a lot of sugar and additives into that. And if I drink it daily, like just like a couple glasses, I don't mind. But if I have to drink like 10 glasses of any soda or anything, my body is just gonna reject me. Like it's my body's gonna despise me for what I'm doing to it. So in order to prevent that from happening, I'm just gonna go with water. But because I want to install, I had an idea for sim racing because, you know, if you're sim racing for multiple hours, you don't want to get up and have a drink. So then I thought, wait, Formula 1 drivers have just a straw in their mouth. So you can just sip from that. From there I had an idea, put a big jerry can of fluid, like underneath your desk. Or somewhere, have a electric motor, have a pump water in through the straw into your mouth. Should be easy enough to install. There's a C2 inbound, and that will be the last of it. Then I get to refuel because I already have 77k. Ho ho ho, that's nice. Right, we're on. Let's slow down. Let's just apply a handbrake. There we go. I also wanna... Like, I have a closet for my clothes. As does everyone, pretty much. But it's kind of dark in there sometimes. So I had an excellent idea. Wait a second, actually. Depending on how many wires I have, I might be able to get away with what I currently have with my Arduino starting kit. Or else I have to order a bunch of white LEDs. But I could pretty much just connect a bunch of LEDs to the wires and just connect all of the, like, yeah, I'm not sure if series is gonna work. I'm gonna have to do it parallel to like a small piece. Ooh, perfect. 34,000. Oh, there's a lot to choose from. First, let's do some maintenance. But I basically want to do a sort of fridge system. Like you open the doors and the lights turn on. But if you would do that normally, you'd have the opposite. You open the doors and lights go off, or you close the door, the light turns on. That's just how the switch is positioned. And in order to solve that, you could use the Arduino to basically give the inputs of, hey, we have this, send it to that. And because it's a model with 2 doors, all I have to do is add a second button. I should probably work that out. How that's gonna work, because if it is, I'm not sure if my 9-volt battery will do everything. And I have to think of all the wiring, because I have to power it. I have to wire it properly and cleanly. So potentially after this I could, after uploading 1 VOD and scheduling the rest, and if I have time available still, depending on, you know, how busy I'm gonna be, I'm gonna try mess around with Arduino again. Like trying to get an LED to work. Because if I can invert it, then I basically have the code ready. I just then need to add a lot more lamps, and a lot more, like 1 more button. All you have to do is saying if button equals false, then lights. Which means you have to parallel that as well. Ooh, that breadboard is gonna be messy. It's gonna be a lot of wires. But the neat part about doing everything in parallel is if one of the things break, which probably eventually will happen because, you know, that means that you won't be suffering as much. Usually if you put it in a series, which means you basically daisy chain them together, like you put them all in one line, if the front breaks, you don't see the rear either, because there's no connection anymore. We have to do it parallel, where you do them like all next to each other on their own line. Like sure they can merge, but they basically at some point split. Then you have it. Then you have all the lights functional. Oh no, one breaks. The rest are still functional. Maybe a little bit brighter, so you wouldn't notice it and you would need to replace it, but would be better. The project possibly requires some 3D printing as well. Seems like a fun enough project to try. Because if I can do it once, I can do it multiple times. I could basically just have a very fancy closet, which you open one door, just that side turns on with lights. You open up the other door, that turns on as well. And it's all connected to one 9-volt battery. Right, we are rapidly approaching. Buy money. 9K. What, plus 1.6, alright. My wallet. It's gonna be 17,000 to just get this thing. And then I haven't even paid the service fees. There we go. Right, how much is the 2,000? Like, it has a really good repair economy. It can pull slightly less, but you spend a lot less money if you drive it correctly. If you drive it incorrectly, you're gonna pay a lot. Yeah. Because it's a manual without a clutch. So you have to go off the throttle, then shift, then re-engage. So going up a hill basically means set the gear and then forget it. That is hazmat 2 that I don't have. Hold on. Fees. Licenses. So I could go get the multiple unit one. I own hazmat 1. I don't have enough money for military. What does multiple unit actually do? Oh, that. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's actually start saving money for the for the D6. So we have machine factory, we have food factory, we have sawmill. We have the city buses, which is just one load. Well, no, not worth it. This one is a lot, but coal mine east. Wait. That is quite far uphill, I think. Drop off and unload. No. 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 This is oil well central. Let's just do no shunting. I want to just move. That is the sawmill again. That's more food factory. That's hazmat 2 that I don't have. That's the steel mill. Iron mine east. That's far away. Coal power plant. More machine factory stuff. More steel mill. 2 shunting jobs that I'm not gonna do. And food factory. Alright. Iron mine east. That is that one. That's really far away, and I don't really have the resources for that. So no. Coal power plant is a buttload of money. It's also a buttload of weight, which I cannot do. Unless I do multiple unit, but I'm not in the mood for multiple units. Oil well central. Pretty central location. If we were to go to the machine factory, I would take it with me. Then we have the steel mill, which is a lot of uphill. And it is slightly too heavy if I have 2 of them. Then we have the sawmill, which is not a lot of weight, but decent amount of money. Then we have the machine factory, which is the longest distance, but provides the most stuff. This is 610 tons. This would be too heavy. But I would be able to do it this way, where I would grab that and that. That is an option. Then we have the food factory, which is a lot of up. Or if, yeah, I feel like these are the best options that I have right now. The 27, like it is 585 tons. So you are at the absolute limit of what you can pull. And I know that from here to here is all uphill. So that means having a look at the weather. Shit. No, it's just fog and clouds. Should be fine. But because I'm over the 500 tons, I'm gonna have to grab the DH4 again. And if it's raining, I'm screwed. Wait, not even, because I'm pulling oil well stuff. Oh no, I still have to go out of the harbor. Shit. Like, pulling pretty much near the limit. Just to get to the oil well central, drop a load there, and then run a lot lighter the rest of the way. But these empty cars are... Let's first locate the empty cars. I think I might have located them. I'm gonna have to visually inspect the numbers on them. Oh, don't tell me this is gonna be... It is the job, but there's just this annoying bit in front of it. There's even different jobs. Like, what am I gonna have to do is just connect everything together. Pull this out. Because this is 73, and I'm looking... Yeah. Come. That. Yeah. Push everything together. Connect everything. Back it all the way up there. Back it in here. Push the rest back in here as well. Grab this, drive it away. No, wait, don't drive. I'm not gonna drive it away because first gonna have to get this load. Or I first do everything here, then go there and grab the load, then go back in here, which might be the best option. So my plan right now is, I'm right here. I go out here, do everything here where I'm currently at, but don't grab it just yet. Then back up. Like if I go here, I can back into probably E yard, hook up to what I need to hook up to, pull forward till here, so that the back is past this switch, switch it back in here, connect, move out. That's my plan. Because I'm too lazy to run, we're grabbing this little thing. Hehe. Yeah, I think it's that one. I think it's the E1 outbound as well. That's good. Let's just actually check it if it is truly 84. You can see it clearly, it's 84. Alright, let's try and get it ready then. Nope. No, actually. better. If you're wondering why, if I were to go in the other lane, the switch would be set and I have to reset the switch. I'm definitely gonna derail here. Where did it go? Like, seriously, where did it roll to? Did it come to a stop? Did it just... Huh, it apparently is gone now. Oh well, whoopsie. Time to grab the red thing again. Yay. And then run it up the hill, over the hill, climb even more after dropping everything off. Alright, well, and brake. Brake, cut off, cut out. Forward, a little bit of throttle. Like, if I had a shovel and a license for it, I could have probably driven that steam locomotive. Actually, I think I have the money for it as well. Yeah, I would have the money for it, but I'm not gonna. Wait a second. I realized that I drank a glass. That means I got to put it on the paper. There's another mark. It means I have to do one less drink during the drinking stream. That's what you get for looking at your phone while driving a train. You miss your switches. Don't train and drive. Alright, let's set the plan in action then. Probably gonna have to slow down even more, like if I'm close, but then we have to connect everything. pull it out. Can I just... Yeah, probably just gonna push everything in there, then leave to grab the rest. Then once I have the rest, come back, pick this up, leave completely. That's the plan. I also find it kind of funny how my car lights are manual. So when I was leaving earlier today, at like 7 in the morning, it was still kind of dark. And I turned my lights on when I left the parking lot. And my mom always looks out the window to make sure that I leave safely. And she's like, turn your lights on, come on, do it. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to turn my lights on. I keep forgetting. Like, if I can't forget to turn them off because the car will legit beep at you if you keep your lights turned on while you open up your door and I think your keys out of the ignition. So unless you're actually dumb, you will find that it's quite hard to actually miss the lights being turned on. You just get like 3 beeps, and you keep getting 3 beeps and 3 beeps and 3 beeps over and over again until you decide to turn them off. And also, if you leave and you walk away from your car, then you're very likely to look back at your car to make sure that it's, you know, visually well.
Are you visually well?
Hello. Shit. No. Hold on. Jim, hold on. Damn it.
What?
This is slightly embarrassing. I went and hooked up a bunch of cars together to take them away to somewhere else so I could grab the load that I actually wanted, only to forget it to connect it to the locomotive.
I see.
So I just went and drove away, and I was like, oh, this goes surprisingly light. Then I look back. The cars were still standing there. Like, that's just eh.
Right.
Dunk. That's a heavy dunk, but right now we can leave.
Are you visually well, Drew?
Yeah. Apart from my arm. There's a handbrake on somewhere. I can sense it. I can sense a handbrake being on. Probably by the sound of brakes absolutely screaming. Yeah, Jim, I have an idea in which I finally get to use my Arduino. And it is basically fridge light, like the way fridge lighting works, but in my closet. So that when I open up a door, the lights turn on. The problem with that is I'm probably gonna have to connect everything in parallel. Well, probably LEDs not. I could potentially get this in series. It all depends on how much you're gonna have to use. If I'm gonna use like an actual strip or just loose LEDs glued to one of the planks with a 3D printed clamp. Help. I forgot that I connected it to, I forgot that I don't have air hooked into this. This is doing jack shit. Wait, now that we're backing up, I can potentially, if I do this, like, I don't really care, I'm just gonna do this. Wait a second, I do need to back up a little bit more. I need to move past that switch if I want to end up backwards. Yeah, Jim, do you have any dumb stuff or weird stuff happen today, or was it pretty calm?
Yeah. Like, no, nothing really happened actually.
Huh.
Rain happened.
Oh yeah, did you go by car or did you go by bike?
I went by bike.
Ha.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like,
the only little bit that I got wet was exiting the car at home. Like coming back. That's the only little bit that I actually got wet. And it wasn't even that much. It was pretty minimal. Although, the annoying thing is the continuous fight between you and your wiper settings. I'm pretty sure you've experienced it already as well, Jim. Just like no setting is correct. So it's a continuous switch between the two. Like you have like two settings that you're continuously switching in between. And you turn it off, then you have to turn it on again, they have to turn it on like hard. And also, windows that fog up are really difficult to deal with. And at the same time, incredibly simple. It's either you turn your heating on cold or hot. Like it's all just air conditioning. But if you use the wrong one, you get less visibility. It's basically the question, will you be freezing your ass off, or will you hydroplane off your, will you aquaplane off your seat? Let's see. Has any like news happened since? Uh, apparently in Rotterdam a truck flipped, like a semi truck, which caused delays all day. Also, apparently there had been a traffic accident on the highway I drive past. Like I drive over the highway. And when I got there, I looked up on Google Maps because I pretty much always look up on Google Maps and then at like 8 a.m. plan my route back already to see if any big things have happened. Then I saw, wait, there's a massive, major traffic jam there, which eventually was like Google Maps said an hour's worth of delay because of an accident. Hold on. Isn't it pretty much... Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Oh. Hmm. Apparently an area very near me has been on the news today. And for not for good reasons. Eh. That was gentle. Yes. Also Jim.
Yeah.
Ducky was in my chat.
He was also in mine.
Yeah. Asking why we weren't in a VC.
Yeah.
And I think we pretty much gave a similar answer.
I don't know. What did you say?
That you're playing Silksong, when you're playing Silksong, you don't really want to be in a VC because of
Yeah.
the
No,
because of the
doing
dialogue.
First playthroughs.
Yeah, and dialogue. If you don't want me rambling about how how bad some people's driving skills are while you're trying to read dialogue aloud so people can hear it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with a lot of things as long as it has a practical reason. Like, if you have a clear reason why you're doing something, then everything becomes understandable. Of course, some things you can't explain. But for most things... That switch is set correctly. All I have to do is move forward. A lot forward, because my plan is to if I open up this door, to get the back of that train, which is about to arrive. It's pretty much there. Pause that switch all over, back up into it, connect to this job, have them both connected, turn them in, walk back to my train, drive off. What? Apparently one of the creators of Ben and Jerry's is leaving the company. One of the co-founders.
Ben or Jerry?
Jerry.
So now it's just Ben's.
Well, it's owned by Unilever, which is gonna get to go to the market in Amsterdam as like the Magnum Ice Company. You know, this chocolate ice creams.
Yeah.
But they basically had disputes about a lot of stuff because Ben & Jerry's is somewhat politic, you know?
Is it?
Well, have you seen their packaging? They're often really good. They often really stand for like peace and everything. Like they're not neutral and just money is money. They want, like they had a dispute about the sale in Israel because
Okay.
and all those like things. And because of that one, like Jerry's now gone. They tried to buy it back but failed. And basically the big parent company is saying, money is money, you don't get to decide where we sell your stuff. Just dumb. And also I feel like as a consumer, as a group, we've kind of forgotten our powers that we have. Because we the consumers decide what becomes popular. Companies try to influence that, can be successful with it, but in the end, it's you who decides to buy that brand, either online or in a store. So if everybody thinks this stuff is overpriced, we're not buying it, then the company connected to it goes bankrupt. Because they're reliant on sales. So, yeah. Wait, seriously? Oh, that is really funny. You know how the carrot with a wig, also known as Donald Trump, went to the United Kingdom, right?
No.
Well, it went to the UK.
Okay.
And apparently 4 people got arrested for projecting an image of Trump with Epstein on a Windsor Castle. This big fuck of projection. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, Windsor Castle is just outside London. That's just funny to me. Like, it's just. Like, Trump's trying so hard to kind of make people forget about it. You know, about Epstein and the list and the files and all that stuff. Yet, it has been chasing him for pretty much his entire presidency. Not even. Even before that, it was already chasing him. He just can't get rid of it. People will always be talking about it. The best thing you can do is just confess about it, and yeah. What? Hmm. Oh, that's pretty old news. You know, a while ago with the whole CEO that got murdered? The
What?
United Healthcare one.
Maybe.
And Luigi Mangione that got arrested for it. Well, especially apparently the judges in New York have decided that it wasn't terrorism.
Okay.
Which,
So it was just murder or manslaughter then?
well, he's suspected of murder still, but like according to the law, it can't be classified as terrorism. There isn't enough evidence for that.
Okay.
Oh, the actual trials and everything starts in December. So that's probably when the news will flare up. But he still has like 15 to 25 years if he's actually convicted. And they're also looking at it on a federal level, which can result in the death penalty. So it's pretty much just a matter of how are they going to look at it. I don't care about LinkedIn. Look, sometimes like LinkedIn is only useful for like some networking. But apart from that, it is basically just a massive dick sucking contest. Also, I'm wondering if I should park my car around back when I leave for London. Because if I leave it in the front, like, for a week, I'm not sure how well the car is going to be once I come back. And if I park it out back, it's not really that visible. I just don't want my car to be stolen 2 weeks after getting it, or like a week after getting it. Like that would be bad. Like I got a new car 1 week later. Where is my new car? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make it. Why am I getting stuck here? That will connect. Oh, we're gonna see it get hit. Whoops. Alright, that's that done.
Oh, when are you gonna play Fear and Hunger?
If it's on sale, I'll buy it.
Oh,
Or if I get
yeah, that
paid.
makes sense. What?
Or if I get paid.
So that's in a month.
I know I get paid on the 25th.
Oh, so that's in a week.
Pretty much. I probably won't play it on stream for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, don't.
Even with a mod that actually limits it. Like it actually censors stuff. I still won't do it.
No. No, you need the true experience.
Exactly. With
I
you in
guess
the call.
if we ever want to do something with that game, like we can just censor it then.
Yeah, but
Kind
I
of tempted to start a run right now, but I should go to bed.
eh, you don't wanna spend too long awake and then be tired, like I am, after basically sleeping like 15 hours over 3 nights. Doesn't that sound lovely, just sleeping 5 hours a night? B6 shunt as opposed to C3 inbound. Alright. Oil well central. B6 shunt, which is there. They have machine factory. C3 inbound. Yes, that is there. So let's use the train and node there. Eh. Hello, Isitriz. Well, I'm going for almost 2.5 hours. I think this is gonna be the last job all the way to the machine factory. Just long. Like it's a long train. It goes all the way to the back there. Alright, let's shut the doors so I don't have that noise. Honk to indicate I'm leaving, even though there's nobody here. Right, I'm gonna need as much speed as possible if I want to make it out of the harbor. Like, this little bit here is nasty. After that, it's manageable. Like, you're still going up, but eh. Here it's just flat. Here's, I think, like a nice downhill where I can coast. Here it's incredibly downhill. Then Oil Well Central is a stop where I have to unload one load. And then I continue slightly lighter through City West all the way to the machine factory. Alright, we're still increasing it. We're still accelerating. Oh, this train is long. Oh no. Well. Yeah, also Jim, I did explain something in Microsoft Paint at the start of the stream.
What?
I explained the car fuckery that happened a couple days ago.
Oh.
With a road going under a bridge, meaning it's lower, and a car in front, like 2 cars were in front of me. The front one of that stopped at a green light, and the one in front of me stalled and waited like 10-20 seconds before actually leaving, which, if you're sitting there, is quite a long time. In the meantime, I'm just sitting there like, move. And then the incredible irony that you get, that I got, at the next traffic light where I stalled. Because I was judging the car that stalled and stood still for 20 seconds heavily. Because who wouldn't? Like, you're sitting there in traffic, you see somebody absolutely fucking it up, like, royally. And I mean, if it's your first time stalling, like, it's a new experience. But what you do is you simply turn the key back a little bit and then start it again, or push the start button again. Or if you have a start-stop system, press the clutch.
Why did you need, like,
Paint.
paint for that though?
To pretty much explain it more clearly. Because then I can add the way it looks. I can add other stuff. I'm not limited to words. I can show images, which are more powerful and easier to explain. Because you can say what you want, but
You know those old the pirate software shorts that he used to get popular and famous, like the
yeah, it was something like that basically.
so you can get popular too if you make shorts with Google Paint or the Microsoft Paint, and you just explain your gripes with traffic.
Yes. I. The thing is though, even though it's generally not seen as something pirate software used to do, it is a surprisingly effective way to communicate.
I know.
As long as you're handy enough with drawing with a mouse.
Don't use a mouse. You have a drawing tablet. You
I know. It's not plugged in.
use the fucking tablet. But plug it in.
I don't have space.
What do you have space? What do you mean?
Because my desk is completely full of shit.
Clean your desk. You have a small one. You really don't need a lot of space. I know exactly which one you have.
Damn it. Yeah, but it's pretty full because of a lot of things on it. I also need to at some point do proper cable management. And I can probably get more space if I clean up the Arduino stuff. Like if I actually use my Arduino in my closet to make very fancy lighting. Because I want to do it in such a way that it has two doors, so that if I open up the left door, the left side turns on. If I open up the right door, the right side turns on. All it requires is two buttons and a bunch of LEDs and the Arduino in between to decide the zones and the why, and basically what turns on with what. Like, that's all that I need to decide. That's what the Arduino's for. You can hardwire it, of course, but you know, I basically need two ports in the I need two inputs, two outputs in the Arduino, where you have one button, button left, button right. Then you have lights left and lights right, and all you have to basically say is, if button false, then lights on. If button true, then turn lights off. That's the entire bit of code. It's just like some things need to be turned on and some things need to be turned off. It's basically just an inverted button. Although I do need push buttons for that. I'm not sure if I have push buttons or toggle buttons. Like, that matters. Because I need push. If I have toggle, I'm gonna have to open up the door. Like, then it does nothing. Then I close it again. And open it again. Then it's on. Then I have to do it again and again. Also, nice and toasty. Traction motors that are basically 100 degrees. Or oil that's 100 degrees. The boiling point of water is the temperature of my oil. It's a long train. Yeah, I could mess around with that, but probably not tonight because I should actually sleep at some point. You know? Also, I'm not sure how much work there's gonna be at my job, or how, because I'm kind of like at a couple of floors I could do the exact same thing on, but but we are running out of drawings that we have. More are on their way, I think, but I still have to get those. I'm actually surprised this little DH4 could do it. Although I'm not sure how much I'm gonna do on fuel, considering I've used pretty much a third, and I'm just right here. Slightly less RPS means less speed, but more cooling and less fuel consumption. And the DH4 is not an economical locomotive at all. It's sort of this it's a mid-tier train. Like, you start with your DE2, then you have the SO60, which is just a steam version of the DE2, pretty much. They have the DM3 and DH4 basically being sort of mid-tier trains where you don't have the big ones unlocked yet, or a lot of steam stuff, but you do have the ability to have more power. And then you have the S282 and the D6. Those are basically endgame engines. Those are the big boys. They pack a lot of punch. You can basically haul everything with it. That is what you use once you're in the end game. They have the B2, which can be just seen as shunting. The 6, the slug, is optional. Not really useful for anything. The handcar, incredibly funny. Caboose, never used it before. The DM1U, I usually just connect to the back of my locomotive that I actually use for pulling and go to the machine factory to and from. And that's pretty much it. Those are all the trains that Derail Valley currently has to offer. Without mods, of course. If you start modding, then you get all of the trains. Right, one more incline before we kind of go downhill, and then we get to prepare. Like, then we're on this area, which is perfect. Then we scoot around here downhill. Then we move over.
What does this do?
What?
Hold on.
You saying what does this do doesn't really, you know.
Hold on.
Also, I tried to get the CD out of my player, but it's stuck in there. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, like this, like the little texture of like wear and just overall it being a little bit run down.
Hold on. This is.
Why?
Why is that an option? Like, hey, you can you have this streak, and you can share that. Like, what?
Yeah, like the weathered look, like with locomotives especially, it basically instantly looks weathered. Especially if you go for something that does cargo, it will often, yeah, like it might look new in the first year, But after that, people aren't really careful with it.
Alright. But if you take massive fan literally inside, you come.
That almost sounds like an insult then. Like, you are a massive fan.
Look, no, I'm a brick wall, okay? I'm a brick wall, but I'm also a fan. Wait.
And I'm just imagining spinning bricks.
Yeah, so do I. I hate that message. Why did I do that? You know a message that I much prefer?
Don't you dare, don't, I knew it. Also, I realized I did the spelling, like, slightly wrong. I should flip our names around. So I'm gonna do that after the stream.
Technically, yeah. If you want to be, like, pedantic and correct about it.
Well, I have to set an example for my viewers, right?
That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I am gonna go to bed. So
You could say that is a massive amount of times that you said the word massive. Yeah.
How do you even do that?
Conversation, I guess.
Dude, we once had a speech and debate thing at school, like at my like, not at our school, like the school before that, right? And the discussion was like summertime or winter time, right? Like in terms of
The daylight savings.
yeah. And it was like if we had to choose which one permanently, right? Which one is it? And then I was on the objectively correct side, which is winter, because that's literally like the normal Dutch time.
Yeah.
But it just sucked so badly. Like, because no one really knew what to do. We had barely any like prep for it.
Yeah, you're often just thrown into those.
So, yeah, but the whole point of a debate is that you do get prep time.
That you can do research so you can give the best arguments.
Yeah.
The best statements. Yeah. Otherwise, you just pull shit out of your ass, and that often leads to trouble. Yeah, Wasted Triz.
You can have massive debt, like if you have
yeah, but
like
not
a billion. If you're $1 billion in debt.
Yeah, but it's not like physically
that is
massive.
Well, no, but it is a massive number. I guess if you want to get literal, yeah, sure.
Because it's big.
But hey, if you're gonna get literal, then gigantic does not mean big.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true, but technically, if you look at where the word comes from, it doesn't
No, I'm
mean
talking
that.
about Wasted Triz messages. Like, before you start debating stuff, please do your research. So that if you have
IRL, yeah, but if you're going to an actual like debate thing,
Yeah.
like for instance in politics, that's debating.
Yeah, but
You
they
prep for that
have
shit.
yeah, because otherwise your topic that you want to talk about or want to defend is going to get thrown overboard immediately because they realize that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. We do.
Yeah,
We win automatically.
yeah. Dude, this man can type fast. What the fuck?
Yeah. Also, there is something as speech to text,
Just
so
based on their assumptions. Well, at least look, we had like a little bit of time to to make our arguments, right? To study it. But the problem was that you had to do this in like a team of five, right? So there were five people like in favor and then five people against.
yeah.
But with that topic,
You just
there
need one
just
person.
there just isn't that much to talk about.
It's
The
just
things
some
there are to talk about, you can go in debt on it, but like that wasn't the point.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's
Can
just
you get the camera up again? There we go.
oh
Yeah. That's
I
like
don't know.
that's also a thing that people don't really listen to anymore, and that is experts. Like, if an expert is saying something, then it's often backed by research that is publicly available. So you can just look it up, see how they've
Yeah.
gotten to those results, because that is basically what a proper research paper is. Just, this was a result. How did we get there? What did we use? The methods, the resources, everything, so that people that are also experts on that topic can look at it and potentially say, interesting, I might do a slight adaptation of this and see what results I get. And then if those results are vastly different, then that gets public,
Wait,
and that
hold
goes
on.
public as well. And then it's like, oh wait, this method has different ways, which with different results.
Hold on a minute. In
What?
actual fact, a few months ago in my political party, there's a politician in your chat. Yeah, do their own research, yeah, on fucking Facebook.
While on the toilet, like while taking a
There's
shit,
people that
just
already agree
hmm,
with you.
yes.
Well, then what do you mean in my political party? But my thing with arguments is like I am theoretically good at them, but like a day later.
I feel that one.
Like in the moment, I just can't really think of like anything to really say other than I don't agree. And it's like I know
Hmm.
why, right? I just get put into words, and then the next day I'll be like, "Oh, I should have said that."
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that is a valid thing. Like, then you can support
yeah,
people.
yeah.
I mean, I wonder if you here in the Netherlands get paid for it. Like, if you are like sitting in one of those like tents where people vote, or if that's just a volunteer position where you just
That's volunteer. My father does that.
So you voluntarily just sit in a like a tent with a bunch, like, where people just come in, they basically show you their passport, they show you their voting stuff, like the thing that they've got.
I don't think that's what Triz is talking about, though.
Yeah. But I mean,
But all right. I really should go to bed though.
it's not even 11.
I have a job.
Same. I still have to make my lunch.
Yeah, I do that in the morning.
Yeah, I don't, because it saves up a lot of time, actually. Like, I can just quickly shove breakfast in my mouth and just leave.
All right.
Wait, can you not roughly know the, like, unless it's a really close thing?
The answer was always we lost. You know how you win? You switch sides.
Yeah, that's not really how that works. Like, yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't and it does at the same time.
Yeah, you did win. Did you win with your ideals? No.
B6. I'm gonna take the gamble. If it's not clear, I'm gonna have to slam on the brake. Actually, I'm gonna slam on the brake.
Before cell phones or the internet.
Shit, 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 shit. Stop, 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 stop,
This
stop.
guy's ancient.
Stop, the track's not clear. I took the gamble and lost.
This is from like the Bronze Age. You see that?
Well, if if the parents were before the internet, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I know.
Is it still raining? It isn't, so I can turn the wipers off.
A part of me really wants to ask, like, what party? I'm also pre-internet.
Old. I mean,
So your demographics going up, damn.
do you realize what kind of games I play?
But I went on the first 100 website.
Nice. Yeah, I'm from after that.
Yeah, we are from you're from 2004, I think.
Yeah, I'm from the later parts of 2004.
Yeah. A part of me really wants to know what party Tris is from. I don't know that I would even know it unless he's Dutch. Or she. But he or she, wait. Or an it.
Yeah. Right, let's move forward again after that slight mishap with thinking it's clear and then realizing it isn't clear and almost crashing. Yeah, it is quite close. How did that not work? Hold on. Derail Valley, how dare you? If this is all wet and you look away and then you look back, then the wipers don't function.
Actually, we have a, like, what's his name again? Jan Jaap. I don't know his last name. He's like a comedian, and he has this like show. Like in America, you have I Got News for You? It's that, but Dutch. And he has mentioned before that one of like a friend of his was one of the first people in the Netherlands with a cell phone.
Yeah, like a brick.
And but like as like a kid, right?
Yeah.
And they thought this was like so cool that they had this like whole plan that so the friend would take the phone to school, and then he, like Jan Jaap, would like be late, but like deliberately, and then use like one of those phone what do you call, like phone booths,
Yeah, it didn't work. If you look
to
away,
call
it
the friend in class that he would be there in like 10 minutes.
that just sounds like fun.
Like basically to like brag to the class that he had a phone.
Like, just hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Let me grab a brick. Because early cell phones were basically just bricks with antennas and some speakers built in.
Was it common though? It sounds dumb. If you're so proud of that phone, just show it off, man. You don't have to go through this elaborate shit.
Yeah, but what better way to show it off than actually demonstrating its use?
Then call the school phone or something.
No, because that's... No.
Call your mother what we're gonna eat tonight.
Let's see, have I paused
And
the
if she
switch
says
yet?
French
No.
fries, then invite the entire class.
Like, is it okay if some friends drop by? Yeah, sure. How many? 30.
All of them.
Like, pretty sure any parent would say no.
Wait, what's cool? Hold on here. Oh, never mind. Joe,
Yes.
I have nearly 24k channel points again.
Ah, shit. I don't think it's gonna fit on the paper anymore. Gonna have to get a second paper.
Why are they called leaves, but then bits are still bits?
I don't know.
Can you not rename bits?
I'm not sure.
You should name them branches.
Yeah, I was about to say. Like, you call, in the meantime, everybody that's on the same frequency just listens in.
Yeah.
God,
now
imagine.
they all know that. Now they all know that you're divorced.
Yeah, I was about to say. Having spicy
Or maybe it could
conversations on the phone.
Or it could be the cause of the divorce. Like if you and your wife are both working there, it could be the cause of the divorce if you get a phone call.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get that phone call and like people are listening in on it, and you just suddenly, like, how many people would just like? Of course, you probably couldn't talk back because if you're on a radio, unless you have an actual microphone on that instead, and you're on the same frequency. Oh. Oh no. So not only is your spicy conversation broadcast to multiple phones. But it's recorded as well.
Yeah. It's good we never talk about that sort of stuff off, like we never talk about that sort of stuff when anything is recording, right, Joe?
Yeah, sure,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I just realized if we ever get a girlfriend, it might be in our best interest not to tell them that we also make content.
Eh. Or we do, because that will give, in my opinion, would result in the best result, you know? Because that would mean that they either, well, if they get disgusted by it. Oh yeah, road safety, of course. But the thing is, right, if they,
No, but no, they were not for the railroad safety, but they were good for gambling, probably.
well, the thing is, a conversation like that can also have an impact on safety. Because it's
True.
distracting.
Yeah, because maybe suddenly you have an extra bit that sticks out now.
Yes, and there are, I'm sure there are some people that will immediately just take care of it.
So you have to stand a bit further away from the machinery.
Then different loop gets applied. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we should not tell any girl that we have this issue.
I would, because it has one of two outcomes. Either it falls immediately, it's a big turn off, or, and that basically mean that, because it is in fact just us talking about things that we want to talk about, and if the potential girlfriend doesn't agree, isn't like open to having conversations about everything, then for me at least that would be a big point, because I would like to be able to talk about everything with my partner, you know, from the most mundane things
Yeah.
like food to weird shit that we talk about on the podcast.
To your secondary relationship. Oh wait.
No, I'm not gonna do
Your
that.
your plan B.
It's
Uh,
there should be a link in chat somewhere already, but it's basically just us two rambling about
there.
useless stuff. And it sometimes goes very weird.
Yes.
With sometimes I say a lot. Wait, is 6 actually? Yeah. Like things often get weird, and yeah.
It's a mess.
It's just a bunch of ramblings. Like it's just the idea came basically from us having continuous weird conversations on Discord and realizing we could monetize this potentially. Of course it's not, because it's YouTube and YouTube isn't paying us shit for what we make. But it is just was like we were like we could record this and make a podcast out of it.
Yeah.
And then we did.
Yes, and I still need to draw a thumbnail.
Is the video uploaded at least?
No, but that'll be fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it if you're getting ready
I,
for bed, because
No.
if you turn your device off while you're still uploading a video,
Yeah, I
YouTube
know.
kind of has an aneurysm and doesn't do it properly.
I know. I will do it, like, I will finish, like, I'll do the drawings for the fucking, the D&D video, and then after that, I'll do the, like, the thumbnail.
Meanwhile, I'm pouring another glass because if I drink another glass, I get to put another tick on it to have less drink.
Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah. Understandable.
So,
You've said it
finally.
like half an hour ago.
Yes. So, bye.
Hey, bye.
Bye, chat.
And then gone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go a lot further. Almost at 5 kilometers per hour. Like, I figured out that 5 kilometers per hour is pretty much the speed you need for hitting, for connecting and shunting and everything. It is decently fast, but not fast enough to damage anything. Right, at least those are off the switch. I'm probably not gonna get my time bonus on the job to the machine factory, but who cares? Are we almost there? Ooh, that's still a lot of train that needs to go on there. Oh, I think I bumped into it. There's still some stuff to go, but at least most of the cars are being pushed onto it. Oh yeah, we are shoving it, we are forcing it in there. I thought we were connected, but we weren't, but now we definitely are. And we're almost in as well. Then I have to rush towards it, then I have to rush to get this load in on time. Also, fuel-wise, it's going to be a tight squeeze. But it's pretty much flat and then uphill, so I think I can make it if I keep my revs low. Right. Off, apply brake. Turn it off so I save fuel. Hopefully that qualifies us in. Let's see, I would qualify that as completely in. Let me apply the handbrake and see if it agrees with me. And I don't have my dash, which makes this painful. Sort of a walk of shame. But it's a difficulty I set for myself, and it's a difficulty I want to finish this playthrough with. I could have still moved a little bit forward, but time. Because of the essence here. Well, considering like only one car is out of it, it should still allow for it. Yes. Right. Where's the trash can? Yeah. Well, if you create a save, you can set the distance, and I've set it all the way to 0. So you can just, like, you can set it to really short, like realistic has, or really long, like casual, but this is just, like, a spam the F key, it does nothing. But 44 minutes, that gives me a whopping 45 minutes to deliver this job. What marks in the tracks? Isn't that where the switch is, pretty much? Or where that texture ends and normal track texture starts? I generally base it on the sign location. Trying to look for the mark, but it can't really. Oh, you mean right here? This is just for the switch. Like, this mark is just there for the switch. But it's generally like the signs. Ah. The signs are a pretty neat indicator for. Like, is the loading gauge clear? Like, can you move a train past it? Like, there doesn't really matter, only on one side. Right, we're back on the move with low fuel. Like, we have a third of a tank and we are here and we still have to do this distance. It's gonna be a lot of lift, a lot of coasting. Hmm. 60. Excellent track design. You know, going over just a hump of dirt over tracks, you know, that's pretty normal. Right, 40. I know that we're currently here, but there's a 30 there. And a 30 here, so if I can keep my speed low through here and then just burst up there. Like, save as much fuel as humanly possible. This is where I had one of my derailments on stream. I've only had like a few. But here is one of them with me being on my phone, missing this sign, which was visible. And as you can see, my speed is now correct. Yeah. Like, that's why I have my fuel shut off. Fuel cut off. Like, I ran around this corner, I was like, huh. Alright, I have to slow down a little bit for this. I think it was in like 50. I think in a DE2, and just... this corner did me in. I derailed. Plus I should use less fuel because I have less weight behind me. I just ditched like 200 tons worth of load. Like, for example, that massive amount of fuel can be seen as actual big, because you know a massive amount of fuel can be physical, can be a physical big amount. Although it's actually not that big of an amount, because you know it's in a fuel tank underneath a train, underneath a locomotive. That's not really an impressive size. It's like me saying that the boot of my Twingo is massive. That as well. But then everything's massive. You, me. These scissors are massive. This this HDMI cable is massive. Everything has mass at that point. Yeah, it's massless, but yes. But if you have any object near you on your desk or just anywhere, then that's massive. This glass and its liquid, and the liquid inside is massive. There are a couple exceptions, of course, but most of it is just massive. Right, this is why I wanted to stay slow and not use any fuel here, because I'm heavily fuel saving, because after this, like from this point pretty much, yeah, like from this point all the way to the machine factory itself is all uphill. I'd rather have a slight bit more fuel to make sure I get up there. I still can't wait for the passenger stuff. I should take a look at some. Yeah. I mean, I had literally today at work had something that was incredible. Like, I work with air conditioning stuff, so you also work with thermostats. And yeah. But a thermostat can also be called like an area control unit. Or at least that's the translation in my head. However, one of them said thermostat and the other one immediately went to like area control unit. Like just... It was just an instant switch basically, like, no, it's called that. And that is just engineers. Like, you have the common household name, and then you have the actual technical name. And there's often a discrepancy within the two. Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's the neat thing about being in a technical field. You can overwhelm people with just terms that nobody else uses. Right, I now have a lot of speed. I don't have a lot of fuel. 10 going down, so we are probably around this area, about to make this bend. I am correct in that, probably. Take the switch. This is around a 60, but you can do it a little bit faster. Then this is the steepest bit. But once you're over that, it is plain sailing from there. That's empty as well. Let me grab a pencil and the piece of paper, or I keep track of how many hydrates I've gotten and how many times I've actually drank them. Because one hydrate equals one container of liquid. Let it be a can, a mug, a glass, just the container of drink I have at my disposal at that moment in time. And at some point, Obsidian Blade 266 got enough channel points and basically did 100 of them. Like full on 100 of the 100 hydrates. And I then decided, alright, I'm gonna note them down. And then every time I drink a container, I mark one as well. And we'll find out which one, like if I can drink all of them. Then we get into the conversation of a drinking stream, which first I thought I'm gonna get a drink sponsor and have them sponsor me for like around over 100 like containers. But then I thought about something. No matter what drink I use, let it be a soda, it's like some other stuff, it's either going to be crazy expensive or incredibly unhealthy. So now I've decided that I'm just going to do it with water. Like, still can be dangerous if you drink too much water, but to be fair, if I'm gonna have to drink like 15 liters of water, it's not gonna happen within one stream. If we assume a glass is 200 milliliters, then it ain't happening. I think I calculated recently and it is 15 liters that I have to drink, so I thought, let's get a 20-liter jerry can for a drinking system that I want to build anyway, and use that. That's pretty much the plan. But first I need to clean up my room, actually. Yes. The water stream. If I did it with soda, it would be a brand that I'm not gonna name because they aren't paying me to do so, so yeah. I will only advertise if I think favorably of the company. Otherwise, I'm not saying the name. Like, they will not get free advertisement out of me. But of course, yeah. I mean, I've tried, like, this was a while ago already. I tried to do a sponsorship, like a couple of times through Stream Elements. And both of them gave me nothing because nobody used my codes. Yeah, a million. Like, I will let you sponsor me if you give me 1,000,000. Yeah. Like, then you would have to be incredibly popular. Yep, fuel. This is the first time I see the fuel light being on from actually driving. Like, I've seen it on from the demonstrators being empty and everything. But never like this. C3 inbound. Let me come in from the south. There we go. That is sound set correctly. But yeah, 1,000,000 per spawn. Yeah. But as long as it's within the red, you know, I'm gonna refuel it here anyway. Yes. Which is good. I'm actually wondering, I should actually look into this for law-wise. But I'm wondering how, if you're able to, if you're allowed to refuel from a jerry can just anywhere in the Netherlands. Like, because of that, because if so, then I want to just drive around in circles somewhere to see how far I can stretch the fuel tank and when it actually cuts out, so I can engage from that. But I'm not sure if you are allowed to just stop by the side of the road, grab your jerrycan and just fill it up. Of course not fully, mainly like the max would be 5 liters and then would just drive to a petrol station and just fill it up the rest of the way there. But yeah. It does potentially, yeah. Like, you will pull air through your line, so your fuel pump will be unhappy. The better way to treat it would be to basically drive it until it starts to sputter, and then turn it off immediately, and put fuel into it. Like, as soon as you have the first little hiccup, you immediately shut it off, and call it a day there, because that would mean that that is the absolute limit. Yeah, I would do that with a jerrycan of fuel in the car or somebody following behind with it, so that I'm not stuck. I can just refuel immediately. Like, it would pretty much be a controlled environment. Ah, yes, that. Yeah, and who was right? Even though it is a bad thing to run out of fuel, the smug face would be incredible. Like, the I told you so. That. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you sometimes hear stories how that ends badly, but I feel like 99% of the time they're like, oh, you need to go somewhere. Like, if they realize the situation you're in, they're like, sure, go get some fuel. Yeah, I feel like to me, driving in the United States at some point seems interesting to try, but at the same time not. Because on one hand it can be I feel like you could drive quite fast, but at the same time, the way... Yeah. At that point, keep some spare fuel in the back. Like, for emergency use, which you would need to use every, like, 2 months. Because otherwise, things are just gonna go bad. Let me, in the meantime, snooze the advertisement, because, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends on where you drive, of course. Like, as the US and Europe both have vastly different roads, which can be very similar to each other, but, I mean, here in the Netherlands, we also have massive highways. The US also has, like, tight, winding mountain roads. It's basically where Germany with Autobahn being partially speed limitless. Not everywhere, of course, and you also have to take maintenance into account, like roadside maintenance and roadworks and everything. Because if there are roadworks, you are not allowed to do 200 kilometers per hour. Because, you know, that's just straight up dangerous. And also, it is just fun to drive slow cars fast. Like, I will stand by that point now that I've experienced a slow car. And I still am experiencing it. It is fun to drive. Like, I actually laughed quite a lot when overtaking a semi-truck in a small little hatchback with a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour and 58 horsepower. Like, it is already screaming down the highway. And then you have to overtake, meaning it's just revving. Yeah. I mean, it's also just a question of how much fuel do you want to burn through. Because if you're in your sports car and you decide to do 200, you can have some problems with fuel economy. And I'd imagine refueling on the side of the Autobahn is incredibly expensive, if at all possible. I'm sure there are some stations there, but it's probably going to be expensive, like highway pricing. But on a famous stretch of road where sports cars often are, which are very well known for how they deal with fuel economy, which is basically not. Like fuel economy, what is that? Let me just guzzle everything down. Yeah, that's just That is why, I mean, I drive a 2007 Renault Twingo. It is not fast. It is French. It is a bit of a weird car, considering the speedometer is in the center on the dashboard instead of behind your steering wheel. That's where the warning lights are, so that if you turn your lights on or your heat or any stuff at all, then yeah, then that happens. Like, the French are French. It is a really it is a small hatchback, so it is surprisingly fun to drive. Like, I could throw it. I have exited a roundabout at 50 kilometers per hour. Usually you exit them at 30. But because it's a small and nimble car, I could just hit the apex of the corners. Like, I can actually just basically take the racing line without leaving my lane. It is incredible. And aftermarket radio, where I'm currently using an SD card. We're gonna do it again because I don't think we are... Like, Twitch gives you 3 snoozes per stream for advertisements. I've used 2 of them because I'm going to repair this locomotive and then I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But I don't want to have advertisements right before I close off, you know? That just seems scummy. Like, here I have advertisements, goodbye. I'm not gonna do that. So, that's why I'm snoozing it. It does mean that pre-roll ads are now turned on. Slightly annoying. That's a lot of DE2. Like, in theory, if I buy the multiple unit license, I could just grab all of these and this one, connect them all, and then drive away. Right. Saved a couple bucks. Because I said I didn't want this stream to go on for like a long time. And to that I say, oops, I did it again. And how expensive is this bill gonna be? 16,000 worth of fuel. Because that's also a thing. I increased the pricing. So maintenance is more expensive. Everything is expensive. I have no dash. This is just as rough as you can get it, pretty much. The only thing that I gave myself was remote switching. Because I'm not doing it otherwise. Like, if I have to get out and just change every switch like this. No. I mean, you would have the dispatch license to use for that. Like in that scenario, but I'd rather just do it on the fly. Otherwise it's kind of difficult if you have... Oh, wait. Turn it off. If you have this and you have to do some mental gymnastics to figure out what the correct orientation is. So let me charge my flashlight in case I ever need it again. There we go, it's completely charged. Yeah, it is a nice addition, especially if you... Like, I like it more for this one. So you can... If you're approaching, you can set up the yard, so you can just roll into it. But alright, let's actually pay off our debt. Insurance cleared all the fees. You may now buy new licenses. I have 128,000. And I'm gonna press a button. First I'm gonna save, of course, because saving is important. And I don't trust the autosave. But yeah, I'm gonna be ending it here soon because tired and I still need to make my lunch for tomorrow. Yeah. But I'm gonna be basically ending it here because lunch and I still have to sleep. And I have to wake up tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Thursday and tomorrow I have a full 8 hours of work because I work for 40 hours a week. including 2.5 hours worth of lunch, technically. Yeah, that as well. So as by yeah, for the rest, if you enjoy so and see more of it, make sure to let me know through every possible channel. Let it be a view, a like, a comment, a subscribe, a follow. Every little bit of feedback is welcome. And next stream will be, as you can see above my head, Stormworks on Friday, the usual. And yeah, it's gonna be more potential Lua script work, but we'll see what we're gonna do. But for now, I wish everybody a very pleasant evening, night, morning, or afternoon. And for me, goodbye.